Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
There's a word called sonder. S-O-N-D-E-R. This was told to me by one of my good friends who is a philosopher. And she taught me this word sonder, in which it means that it is the sudden realization or the profound realization that everyone we meet, even strangers passed by on the street, are living lives as complex as our own. It is the profound realization that people around us, our family, our friends, and just complete strangers, are not just actors in our play. They are not just puppets on the stage of our minds, but they each have their own lives. They each have their own worlds, and each is a universe in themselves. Have you ever wondered if you were the only one that thought the things you think? Have you ever wondered if anyone else wondered the same things as you? I've definitely been there, my friend. I've definitely wondered if I was the only one that thought like this. Perhaps there's something wrong with me. Perhaps I'm different. Perhaps I'm unique, and I know that I am, but there was a time that came where I had that realization of sonder, knowing that maybe, just maybe, I'm not alone out here. I just left a movie theater watching The Joker. Well, it's just Joker. There's no the. Played marvelously by Joaquin Phoenix. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Now, this movie really spoke to me in many ways. And I won't spoil any of it for you here, since it's very new and it's just came out. But there was so much theatricality to the character that really spoke to me. And it just gave me a picture of, wow, he gets it. Somebody gets it. The transformation of a person, that even just one bad day could change everything for you. There is a comic book called The Killing Joke with Batman and the Joker. It's sort of an origin story, but it's very pointed when he says that you could just be one bad day away from madness, from turning into someone that is justly feared. But is it just to fear one such as this? Or should we be the ones to wonder if this is just a piece of the puzzle within ourselves? if we are all pieces of each other, then this that we perceive as madness, may it be just another level of sanity that we just do not understand? For of course, we fear the unknown. We are often afraid of what we don't get, the joke that we don't find funny, the thing that we don't understand, that we can't rationalize. Once the gears start turning and we really think, we may find that madness could be closer than we once thought. Perhaps the absurdity of it all sinks in and we wonder if anything is real at all. It's probably one of the reasons why I love The Matrix, and it's my favorite movie of all time. It asks questions, deep probing questions of our reality. There were times in my life I truly questioned if everything I knew was a lie. There is even a theory on the Joker himself as a comic book character that I love. This theory says that all of the Joker's actions, his crime, his criminal activity, he justifies it by knowing the one secret that no one else seems to know. Imagine that Joker is the only one in on the greatest joke of all. The Joker's biggest secret is that somehow he knows he is a comic book character and no one else does. Therefore, everything that he does is superfluous. None of it matters because he knows that the lives he affects and removes are just pictures on a page. Somebody has drawn them in and taken them out. He is just a player in the grand game, and everyone else doesn't get it. He's the only one in on the joke, therefore he laughs. And this laughter seems maniacal to everyone else who doesn't understand that they are all just pawns in this chess game. They're all just comic book characters. He's not taking lives. He's just removing the pieces from the board that was made up anyway. The world is an illusion. And by knowing this, he laughs at the absurdity of it all. If you have ever questioned your own reality, then you may empathize with this. Not saying that the actions are right, but also, as Shakespeare once said, nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Our perceptions on what we see as troubling, frightening, or wonderful and marvelous is always in the eye of the beholder. What lies in your eye, my friend? How do you perceive the world around you? Have you ever had bouts of madness? Or times when you perceived or people perceived you as mad? It seems that when we are out of sync with the people around us, when we are not conformed to the community, we may seem out of place, out of whack, out of balance. We may seem like outsiders. But what if we are just being who we are? What if we have just simply decided to embrace ourselves? Just something to get you thinking, get those gears turning in your mind on what it means to be sane or insane. Maybe our perceptions just come from our own awareness. And maybe there's something to be said for the way that I resonated with this character. His pain and the wonder of it all. Not knowing, not caring, just living, just being, and allowing myself to be. For this life is all I have. This life is all I know. And who knows if I go to sleep and I'm actually awake, and when I wake up, I'm actually asleep. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, that is the Open Palm Podcast, here in San Antonio, Texas. The open palm means harmony with the world, understanding our place in the world, using our skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. I pray that this got your gears turning, my friend, and that it inspired you to think a little differently about the world around us and the way that people treat us and the way that we treat other people. Could things be different than we ever realized? Share this message with a wonderful individual just like you who is learning and growing, keeping their mind open like a parachute, and becoming their greatest version, being the best that they can be. If you would like to support this podcast, you may definitely do so by opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw, where if you resonated and gained value, consider supporting it. Clicking that little support button there is much appreciated, my friend. Even $1 goes a long way to making a difference. And I thank you, my friend. Be well, be blessed, be prosperous, be productive. Be you. Take care.
Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.